If you guys are in a long distance relationship, you guys are brave as fuck. Here's my thoughts on what I think a long distance relationship is about, and if it really is worth it. I actually recorded this video before, but I didn't like, I guess, the way it came about. The video was long, and I guess I didn't speak from the other person's perspective, so I'm gonna try to be as concise as possible, right? Before I even interject with my own story. A long distance relationship will work if both of you guys want it. Point blank. That's it. If both you and your partner really want it, and when I mean really want it, I mean like you both, like this is something you guys really see a future with each other. And this is something you guys really want to do. You want to wait it out. It's not for everybody, I'm telling you. I think at first it is a taunting situation because maybe one partner is if we speak in love languages or, the different dating styles, maybe this person is like an anxious type of person. So they're gonna have some sort of insecurities. Maybe they might think their partner is consistently talking to other people. And maybe this person is a more secure type and they just wanna live life and have fun. And if they end up in those situations, chances are they could do those things that this insecure person is so worried about. But, like I said, if both parties really want it, it will work. The only reason why I say it might not work is because distance, obviously, that plays the biggest part. Distance is not for everybody, In some cases, some people really want that face-to-face interaction, My baby's here, I see you, I feel you. We get to spend time together, we get to go on cool dates together, watch movies, binge TV shows, work out, or, just do the normal things that couples do. So when distance is placed in between, it's a different kind of challenge for the relationship because you need to love this person from a distance. Other things that play a part is the relationship starts to become like a chore, if that makes sense. That, I must still text my boyfriend or my girlfriend. I must still tell her how my day was, In my opinion, I think that's pretty sweet. If you're really serious about that person, you don't mind sparing a couple hours just to tell your person how your day is. I mean, isn't that what we would do if we were with this person, right? But I guess for the other person, I guess it becomes sort of tedious because it's like, here we go again. I forgot to text my partner. It's really odd. Like, I'm going to keep saying this because it's true. If both parties really want it, it's going to work. As for addressing both people, let's start off with the insecure type, right? For the insecure type, most of the time, a whole lot of assurance is needed for this type of person, right? But also that can become a problem because now the insecure type can be the downfall of the whole relationship because your partner can genuinely be actually serious, like there's no one else on the other side. But because maybe this partner is like, I guess, super dwelled into the internet and sees how other people's relationship goes. And then there's that inner fear like, fuck, I don't know what my girlfriend's doing, or I don't know what my boyfriend's doing. And now this other person needs to consistently reassure the person like, look, I'm going here, but I'm gonna be okay. But for the insecure type, a whole lot of reassurance is gonna be needed. And I feel like in most relationships, in some relationships, there is that type of dynamic. In some relationships. I know there are some relationships where there's two secure people, but at the end of the day, if you love somebody, you gotta reassure them. But there comes a time where there's too much reassurances. It can kind of be a bit of a problem, I'm not gonna lie, For the secure type, it really just, for them, it's just, I guess, they have to think. That's also another part of this long distance relationship. You always have to think of the other person, Would my partner like it if I was doing this and that? It's really complicated. It makes things so complicated because now if you do something like going out to just hanging out with friends, but at this specific place, maybe you've met other people before, or it's known to be, I guess, a hotspot for pickups or whatever. For the secure type, chances are two things can happen. They're just gonna have fun and go along with it. They might not even give a single thought about you. But on the other hand, they feel like it's burdening them. Like they can't fully enjoy themselves because they know that this might not be good for their partner. At the end of the day, I feel like it all boils down to communication, right? Before you and your partner end up going in long distance, think about it. Will this be okay for the relationship? Are you willing to wait for this person, right? Are you willing to wait for this person? Chances are some people might. But what happens when it's 2 years, 3 years? Then it becomes like, okay, this person's life is going away, right? I'm speaking on the other side of the person. Like, let's say one person wants to wait, but the other person can't wait because maybe they need to experience life and do all that other shit. It's tough to hear, but chances of the person wants to experience life, let them. That's where you let them go. That's where you have to, just for the sake of the relationship, let it go. I mean, look, weird things do happen with relationships. Chances are there are some relationships that can still be rebuilt. I know that, right? There are some relationships that can be rebuilt, that it's not technically the end. If you guys break up, it's just a break or whatever. But you know how the dating market is today. Like, a break is never really a break. A break can sometimes mean a breakup, or, you know, there's not a full communication. So that's why the bare, I guess, advice that I can give is really just communicate it out. You know, if you're studying overseas or working overseas, it's pretty much the same thing, to be honest. Yes, there is temptations. There is things that happen on the other side that people don't know. And that's where you guys communicate that. What happens when those things happen? How do you get over that? Do you let your partner know every detail, or are you just going to let them know what they need to know? I guess where this whole thing came from is because I've been in long distance relationships, 2 actually. My first one obviously was with, you know, the girl that broke my heart, you know, and we all know how that ended. And the second one was with my recent relationship. And what I've learned from both of them, on the first one, it was more, I guess I needed reassurance from that person, but they didn't give it to me. And eventually they ended up actually doing the things I assumed. They went out, they found somebody else, they got fucked. That's life, right? And obviously if you want to see the rest of that, the video should be up there, right? As for the other relationship, obviously it's long distance because of, I guess, the whole parent situation and how they didn't accept my partner. And obviously with this whole situation I'm in currently, I guess I played a part with messing shit up and not really taking the lead to, you know, force my way out. But then again, it's a complicated story. I think I want to make a whole video on that. But at the end of the day, you really have to communicate with your partner. And I remember the last thing I said with my partner, or even in times of being alone, that it's okay if my partner were to find somebody else, because it would be selfish of me to tell that person to wait for me. As much as I would love to wait for them, I would wait for them. I have nothing to lose, right? I have nothing to lose. Yes, in some other cases, people might say it's a case of one-nighters. Why don't you just find somebody else, bro? Someone that's in your vicinity. But if you find somebody who you have a good connection with, why find somebody else? I've already told you about cheating and how that shit turns out. I know that shit's not cool, especially with the hurt that it causes the other person. So it really just boils down to communication at the end of the day. Do you and your partner actually want to do this? If you guys really if you guys can sit down with each other and actually see a future with each other, you have to go along with it, right? I want to tell you guys, don't listen to the shit that happens on the internet. That's only a small portion of what happens. And yes, the bad stuff somehow is always forced into our faces. Oh, girl gets a train ran on her by 4 guys while her boyfriend's in back home, basically. Girl gets a ticket to go see her grandmother, but it's not actually her grandmother, it's some guy she met on Bumble. I've seen those things. it creates a weird image for long distance relationships, or it just creates a very bad vibe for these types of things. And look, things do happen on the other side as well, where both people actually really wanted the relationship to work out. And look, I'm not saying all relationships will have good days always. It will have bad days. There will be times where you feel maybe neglected, or times where you feel maybe your partner's not giving you enough attention or whatever. At the end of the day, that's basically things you grow out of. You talk to your partner about it, you work on it, and you find a solution to it. It's better to communicate that than to have a partner who tells you something and you invalidate what they say and you just think they're just crazy. That's how they see from their perspective. I've learned a lot about relationships, especially, I guess, looking back at how I've dealt with my own personal relationships. There were times where I have been invalidated, and there's been times where I have invalidated my partners. And I just thought, you know what, you're crazy. Don't worry about it, you know. And I didn't see from their perspective. In some cases, maybe going to these places might not be good for your partner, but for you it's a good thing. And you see it creates an imbalance. Your happiness over their happiness. It's tough. But more of the story really, it's really up to you guys. What I say, go for it. If you guys are truly, truly serious about the relationship, go for it. Go for it, right? It creates a different type of dynamic. You get to learn to love from a distance, right? Because, I mean, I've also experienced the whole like being every day with this person type shit, and I liked it, but it's like, you know, I kind of need my space at sometimes. So now that you learn to love your partner from a distance, the time you get to see them, it's like you've created like a delayed gratification before you get to see them again. And when you see them again, it's just this fantastic feeling. But here's another case that I want to put in. If you have the opportunity to somehow meet each other halfway, you know, obviously if you guys are working in different places, I wouldn't say, now leave your job for me to come for me. Don't do that. You see, that's where the communication comes in. If your partner is, let's say, a manager at the specific company, or a senior consultant or some shit like that, why would you force them to leave their job to come and stay with you? It might not be easy to get a job that side. Or why would you stop your partner from going like overseas and doing their shit? You see, it's a very complicated topic. That's why the last video I didn't think of the other person's perspective. But now I'm speaking from both perspectives, that it's all based on what you guys want to do. If you guys really see a future with each other, go for it. If you guys are willing to compromise, as in like, I will see you, let's say, every other month, then I come see you, right? But in other cases, if you feel like you're just meant to live life and, you know, explore the world, then save the heartache and just end it right there, right? You will find somebody else. Because I think that is a safer option besides all those other things. Did you see how I spent, I don't know how many minutes talking about how to compromise a relationship? But I was speaking from the sense of, if you really see something with this person, at the end of the day, if you don't like the compromise, if you don't like the waiting, if you want that instant gratification, like right now I want to see my partner, which is totally okay, end it right there. You know what they say, if you love something, let it go. If it's meant for you, it will come back. And if it doesn't come back, at least you got to experience that person and enjoy the moments while you can, right? It's a tough video. I'm happy actually that I got to redo it. You know, I got to see it from both perspectives, because it was difficult. I don't have a script, right? I'm just like freestyling as I go along. So this is really based on like my personal experience and like what I've seen online and on forums and what people also go through. And it's like, you know, it actually would be kind of a good video to make, because I don't see a lot of videos about that, of how to navigate a long distance relationship. But like I said, it's really just based on you guys. So in conclusion, it goes two ways. On one side, right? I'm speaking to, let's say both of you guys are watching this specific type of video. So on one side, if you don't like the whole waiting for somebody, if you need that instant dopamine hit, like right now, like I want to see my partner, I want to feel my partner, you know, if you don't like the whole I'll see you in 4 months, oh, 2 months left, 1 month left, 80 days left, etc., etc. If you don't like that shit, save the heartache. Go live your life the way you wanted to. Go meet new people. Let the person go. Save the heartache. It's okay, bro. Just cut it off right there, right? If you guys come back to the same area and you guys somehow rekindle the relationship, and then it's meant to be. But if there's no feelings for each other and you guys just look at each other like someone I used to know, that's it, you know. At least you got to enjoy the moments that you could with that person. And on the other hand, if you're willing to wait, if you're willing to compromise and willing to make it work because you see a future with this person, irregardless of the challenges that you will go through, stick to it. At the end of the day, it just depends on you and your partner, you know, because I can't tell you specifically and you have this mentality, but you didn't tell your partner that, oh, this is what I want to do. This is something both of you guys have to make work together. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about communication. Right? It's gonna sting, you know, a lot. It's gonna sting a lot, especially like when you're like so far away, you see your partner having fun and you're like, damn, I wish that was me and her right now. But it saves the heartache. Relationships are full of challenges anyways. It's what makes them beautiful. So at the end of the day, it's really up to you guys. Would I do it again? I mean, I think I'm old enough now to find a way to be in that area, if that makes sense. I would sort of go there with my partner. Call me a simp, whatever, but if I really see a future with you, I probably would find a way to get there, you know. Should the resources be there, then I find a way to make time for the person. In any case I can. Video calls, phone calls, don't bombard them, right? Don't consistently blow up their phone every 2 seconds. Like, dude, have something to do. It's a long distance relationship, right? There's a healthy balance also in that case. Don't always, I guess, blow up their phone like a text every 10 minutes. Like, if you guys technically do have things to do in your own separate space, it happens. So, and look, to the secure and insecure type, it all comes down to communication. Like, it's tough, I know. It really is tough. In the sense of the constant reassurance, the story times and all that shit, and maybe your partner's frustrated all the way that side and you can't really be there for that person or to fully embrace them, you know. It's tough. But really, it all depends if you want to go through that, right? It's a beautiful experience. It's something you can learn. I feel like it adds a new perspective to relationships, but let me know what you guys think. I hope this time I feel better about the video, but I think I did a pretty good job. I think I did a pretty good job on like speaking on both sides of the spectrum, you know, like on both partners, you know, not just specifically one type of partner. So if you guys are really going through it, like I said again, you guys are brave and I really hope the relationship works out, you know. All right, I wanted to get this video off my chest. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more. Peace.